Hey guys, Mike from Magnanimous here, and we're back live from Studio One for another build of the day. For those of you new to this series, this is a series that we're doing every day, Monday through Friday, where we're going live from our Studio One, highlighting a different build, using multiple different pieces of gear from our inventory, putting it together in a unique way in front of you guys, so that you guys can see how all that works together. If you have questions about the build that we're doing as we go through, just comment below and we can address those at the end of the video, or comment after the video is over. For those of you who are interested in having certain builds featured, just comment below and let us know what you'd like to see, and we'll feature those items in future builds. I want to highlight the gear that you're interested in, so do let me know what you'd like to see, whether it's a specific piece, a particular camera, or an entire build. Doesn't matter, just let me know and we'll incorporate it the best we can. Today's build is a really fun one using a unique piece of gear called the Dolly. We won't be highlighting a specific camera build so much, but talking about how the Dolly itself can be used in a variety of different ways to create a lot of different creative shots. For those of you who don't know, the Dolly is a unique hybrid between a dolly system and essentially a camera slider that creates a unique slide effect that can be moved around a lot more than a typical slider can, but it's much more stable to support heavier builds and things like that. The whole Dolly rigs to this small platform right here, which has a series of skate wheels underneath it, which are going to run on some pipe and it will slide across. So we're going to go ahead and set that up, and then we can talk about the camera and stuff that we're using. To start, you just need a couple of stands. I have two combo stands here that we'll be using. You can use a variety of stands because the stand mount here is universal. It's got a baby spud in the middle, so you can mount this to a short C stand, and there's a threaded thumb knob that would go in here to tighten down. Or you can run it into a combo head as well. So we'll run it into the combo stand that we have here. And it's just as simple as dropping it down and tightening it to lock in place. You'll do that for each side. And for our purposes today, I'm just running both of my stands at the highest height, so we know that the dolly is going to be level across. But if you're using different stands that aren't the exact same build or are going to be running kind of mid-level, it's best to have a level with you of some kind just to put on the track and make sure that your track's level so you're not sliding one way or the other and you're getting the movement that you want to on screen. We'll go ahead and just throw this other one up on our other stand here. I won't go too terribly in-depth into the full build of the Dolly, as we have a video on our website about how to work with the Dolly and shows its traditional build. So if you guys are interested, check that out, and that'll give you a hand there. But the main track portion of our build is going to be pipe pieces. And the track ends here are universal. I'll rotate so you guys can see. In that they can fit a variety of sizes of pipe. So I could drop this down to fit a much larger pipe, or I can fit something thinner like this. So depending on what you have, you can use a variety. We're going to be using a 4-foot piece of Schedule 40 pipe, which just has been the kind of ideal size that I've found for running with the Dolly. If you want to go longer, you can. We carry up to 8-foot track in-house, so you can get a nice long 8-foot movement with it. We'll go ahead and loosen one side of our track end here, which is just a matter of spinning the release. And we will slot our pipe in place. Nope. There we go. And I'm just going to lightly tighten down, not enough to actually lock it in place, because I want to have some slide movement. That'll just make mounting into the other side even easier. And I'll just scooch these guys in just a tad, and we can go ahead and tighten this guy down. And we just repeat the same process one more time for the back piece of pipe. That is the base of the Dana Dolly, just this platform right here with the two pieces of pipe. Pretty simple to set up and not a lot to lug around, so it is fairly easy to move between locations with it, which is one of the big features of it. If you're running a full Dolly system and you're having to run track, typically you're having to shim it, run a bunch of track pieces for however long you need to be, and with this you can just very quickly and easily set up track and set your height with stands as opposed to having to shim underneath track to level it all. Just makes it very quick and easy. We'll then go ahead and throw our Dolly platform on here. And every kit comes with a little T-handle skate tool here. If you've ever rode a skateboard, you're very familiar with these tools. But we use those to adjust the bolts here at where our wheelbases connect. And I like to have these as tight as I can without hindering the movement of the wheels, because you want the wheels to nice and easily be smooth as they roll. So you don't want them to be hindered in any way. So you don't want them to be locked in place. You do want to have a little bit of swivel there. So I always start by just checking to make sure they're not too loose, but they're not too tight. And then while I'm building up, I always take one set of wheels and I rotate it the odd direction, because that's going to prevent my skate wheel set from sliding as I'm building up camera and stuff, because I don't want my platform moving on me and me to drop something or something like that. Lock those in place. And then for camera today, we are using the good old Canon C300 Mark II. I wanted a camera today that was going to be quick and easy to work with and wasn't going to require a lot of stuff to make it look good. And the C300 Mark II is my go-to for that. If you watch any of the videos that we've produced where I'm on camera, we always use a C300 Mark II, pretty much exclusively, because its internal codecs are extremely robust, offer a ton of color information without needing to add an external recorder or something like that. For those of you who do want to up your game even higher, it does feature the ability to output 16-bit RAW, so you can even scale it up bigger if you need to. But internal, you can record 4K up to 10-bit 422, but if you crop down to 2K, you actually get quad 4 color space and 12-bit, which is extremely helpful for coloring. So almost always we'll shoot in 2K and get the highest color depth that we can and really take advantage of the robust image out of the C300 Mark II. We're going to pair it with the Canon C&E 35mm prime, which is just a really simple, easy to work with lens. Pairs really well with the Canon C300 Mark II because they utilize Canon's sensor and color science internal. So the warmness of the C&E is going to play very, very well with that sensor. To finish building our Dana Dolly and actually get camera built on here, we just have to decide what tripod head that we're going to mount on here. Today I have a Sattler V20, which utilizes a 100mm ball mount. So I've already pre-selected my 100mm adapter here. It's going to slot into the center round channel. And I would take my tripod head. I have my V20 head here, and I'm just going to remove the lock knob. And there is an additional washer that we'll use to fill the gap at the bottom of the Dana Dolly. And I would pop my head on here and tighten it down underneath, and then my camera goes on top. That's your more traditional Dana Dolly build, but today we're actually going to do a underslung build. Underslung is really, really useful for two main purposes. One, for any top-down shots that you want to get, it's something that we pretty commonly get requests for, which is top-down video for a variety of different purposes. I've had people who are doing clothing line shoots and have a bunch of different clothes that they have to rotate in underneath, and they've used the Dana Dolly underslung setup before to do top-down shots of those clothes. And the nice thing is with the stands, especially with 8 feet of track, you have a lot of room underneath. So moving in a new article of clothing, pulling one out, and adding a new one in is very, very simple and easy to do. And so the Dana Dolly makes it very handy. The other thing that's really cool about the top-down is that once you turn your skate wheel back, you can actually slide, which gives you a unique movement with top-down that you can't get if you go on a jib or just mount a camera to the end of a stand, which is just unique to the Dana Dolly, and there's really no other way to accomplish that with a top-down so easily and effectively like the Dana Dolly can. So let's go ahead and get rigged out for our top-down. There is one additional piece that we're going to add, which is a riser, which is this here. This is the Dana Dolly 6-inch riser. I'm going to run this underneath my Dana Dolly because it's going to drop my tripod head an extra 6 inches, which is going to get it below the track so that the track's not impeding any camera movement and things like that. I'll go ahead and set this up. I'll use the washer here to run on the back end, and I'll use this threaded adapter to tighten everything down. With that, we've dropped our camera mounting point down low enough that we can clear, and it's just a matter of attaching our tripod head just like we would normally to the Dana Dolly. So I'm going to take the washer, I'm going to go ahead and set that inside, and then our adapter is going to fit around our tripod and will connect like so. The nice thing about the bowl adapter is that you still maintain leveling capability with the head, whether it be out of necessity to level your shot properly or a creative choice to add a little bit of a side angle or something like that. So I'm just going to look down underneath here to watch my ball level and make sure that my head is nice and centered. Great. And then with the V20, we can rotate 90 degrees with our head. So I'm just going to, let me turn so you guys can see. So I have preemptively moved my camera platform back, and that's because in order to rotate 90 degrees, you actually have to move so that your pan lock right here clears and doesn't impede the camera platform. So I've preemptively set that up, and it's just a matter of then rotating our head with our pan arm moved so we can actually do that to that 90-degree position and locking in place. And then looks like we actually need to slide our camera platform back just a little bit. And with that, we're good. The pan arm you can position wherever you like. It's my main place to adjust the Dana Dolly because I'll do some movement by holding it up here to move the platform, but if you want to do any camera turns, pans, things like that, you'll still want to be able to access your pan arm because I can still loosen that and then do a slight pan movement or something like that. I'm just going to align my head here so that it is to the side. And the camera prep for this is very, very straightforward. We're just going to tighten our camera mounting plate underneath our C300 Mark II. We have a locking EF mount here, so I'm going to go ahead and unlock that. And lock them in place. And then I'm just going to set up our top clamshell monitor here so that we can use that monitor to view from. Now, we have a few different places we can mount this. I usually end up mounting it in the back of our handle here, like that, just because it gives us a little bit more ease of monitoring. And for our purposes today, we can flip it like that so that when we're underslung, we can still easily see the monitor. Then it's just two cables that will run. One does video and one does audio. So if you're not running audio, you only have to use the one cable. But we'll go ahead and run both just to have the option for today. And it's important to do your camera build mostly off of the tripod head. If you are going to build on tripod, I recommend building on the tripod head while it is actually on some sticks. And then you can take it off, mount the head to the Dana Dolly, and then attach camera after, because it's very difficult to mount things to the Dana Dolly when you're trying to build camera and everything while it's up on the Dana Dolly. So for ease of use, I would build Dana Dolly, build camera, and then attach them after. So I'm just going to go ahead and mount camera like so, and we'll throw a battery in the back. And with that, I can rotate my monitor, turn it up, and power camera on. Now, naturally, this is a very, very simplified build. I was just looking for a quick camera solution to get on and start shooting with some top-down. If you guys wanted to, you could very easily scale this up as big as you need to. The Dana Dolly can support a ton of weight. We could put an Alexa Mini on here, matte box, wireless systems, things like that. Or you can trim it down just a DSLR and a lens. It's really up to you. I'll go ahead and rotate my skate track back. And now I have full control of my camera on the Dana Dolly and can do pan movements, things like that. And I have the slide that I'm looking for. This is a really unique setup for top-down. Like I had said before, it allows you to do sliding movements with panning and things like that that you typically cannot do with other top-down solutions like a jib or things like that. So it's very, very handy and helpful for just about anything, but namely I've had product shots. We had mentioned fashion and things like that, but I also have had poster prints, things like that, where people are just bringing in stuff below, taking it out, putting another one in, take it out, put another one in, so on and so forth. So it's very, very helpful for that. If you guys have questions or anything about the build, comment below and let us know, and we'll do our best to answer those. And then if there's stuff that you guys want to see next time, let me know, and we'll highlight that. Today we've talked about the Dana Dolly and the Underslung build, but there's a lot more you could do with it, so check out our other video if you're interested and see more of what you can do with the Dana Dolly from there. We're live streaming from Studio One today. If you guys are interested in live streaming, we have all the gear that you need to do that. And our partners over at PerfectCircle.pro can hook you up with an operator to show up on site with gear to take all the hassle of streaming off of your back so you can focus on the creative side. So that they'll show up, handle the computer, all the technical side, so you don't have to. So if you guys are interested in streaming and don't know where to start, check out PerfectCircle.pro and we'll help you get started. Otherwise, that's all I've got for today. I'll plan to see you guys tomorrow for another build of the day. And as always, just give us a call or visit Magnanimous if you have any other questions.